Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Curfew Boys podcast. Myself, Sammy, with my boy, Anthony, Anxious Anthony, especially during the Christmas holidays. How's it going, buddy?
Hey now, I'm
Hey.
good. I'm your boy.
My boy.
Your boy.
Oh, my man, my main cat, main cat aunt. I don't know.
It's funny because I just noticed what you're wearing after 20 minutes of us trying to record this episode because of my technical difficulties.
Oh my god, that was a freak accident like crazy.
My mic just broke. Gotta get a new one.
Oh boy.
But I just realized I was about to wear my Chicago Fire t-shirt.
You should have.
It has the same look like yours, blue with the logo, just in Chicago you have the Bourgeois logo. It would have been actually really funny if I would have wore it.
Yeah, I think you should have, but yeah, that would have been funny.
Next episode, I'll wear my Chicago Fire
represent
Chicago Fire.
Awesome. How's your Christmas shopping going along?
I think I finished tonight. I think I finally finished everything. See,
Okay.
I'm a type of person I like the Christmas rush. My wife gets mad at me all the time. Why am I waiting till last minute?
Mm-hmm.
I literally wait last minute only because I like the rush. I regret it after.
I'm curious to know if there's others that like the Christmas rush as much as you do.
I don't know, but it's like I watch a lot of Christmas movies, and when I see it on TV, it's like I want that, and I love the feeling. But then after that, I want to kill myself. But
yeah, no, don't do that.
One
Sounds
year,
good.
I tried finishing my Christmas shopping in November, which I did.
Okay.
And I had the worst December ever. It was just so boring.
Well, I think ever since the emergence of Amazon and just the delivery service, I don't know, everybody seems to be going down that route, I guess. But I think I could somewhat understand the Christmas rush, because I mean, like, it's important to you, right? To like not that buying gifts is important, but the meaning behind everything is...
I mean, Christmas is the best time of the year for me. It's one of my favorite holidays, so I like to experience this holiday to the fullest. And
so there you go. Okay.
Crazy rush, I guess.
So you have...
How about you?
So you have a valid reason. How about me? Listen, I have my better half that took care of everyone. All I did was I told her, send me the bill of my portion of what I owe. Just send it to me, and I'll like, no, she's great. Like, thank God for her. Thank God I have her, because otherwise I would have done zero. I say that now, I probably would have done some shopping, but I mean, she's been a rock star with the gift purchasing over the holidays. So
okay.
So I just
taken care of.
I got that thing. Thank God for her. I told her, I send me the bill and that's it. I'll just send her how much I owe. So yeah, no, thank God for her. So hey, listen, let's get it started. Quite a interesting last, I'd say, 48 hours within Habs Nation and regarding the Montreal Canadiens. Look, I think it's a no-brainer. We got two major subjects to talk about on this episode. It won't be a long one, but it'll be a good one nonetheless. Let's just start with that awesome win against the Buffalo Sabres on Tuesday night, and the star of the show, the star of the game, first star of the game, and just basically, I don't be surprised if he somewhat becomes player of the month for the Montreal Canadiens. Patrik Laine, man.
Player of the season.
He's like what, 7 games in, I believe. He's already the player. Patrik Laine. It's you know what? I want to say it's insane what he's doing, but in the words of Carey Price, going to the Stanley Cup Finals, it's believable. It's believable what this guy can do, the type of shot that he has. You know, since he came into the NHL, everyone said it, like, his shot is probably as good as Ovechkin's, or maybe better. I'm trying to remember that, but at least almost as good, if not as good as Ovechkin. He did it not once. He did it not twice. He did it 3 times against a very, very, very struggling Buffalo Sabres. Like, oh my God, I actually feel bad for this team. But you know what? After he scored the second one, for some reason, I had that feeling. I'm like, it's coming.
So I'm really, really happy for this hat trick. I'm happy he scored 3 goals. He's showing the NHL world he's that top second overall player, right? He was second overall, right?
Yeah, it was a second overall
Yeah,
pick
second
after
overall pick.
after Matthews. Yeah.
He's proving to the NHL world that that's who he is, and that's what he's proving everybody, especially after an injury, coming into this season and already scoring 7 goals, I believe, right?
He's at 6, but he's at 7 points in 7 games.
7 points in 7 games, 6 goals already. What makes me happy more than all this put together is coming from a Habs fan that has the power play struggling for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
We scored 3 power play goals in one game. I don't remember the last time I've seen that with the Habs. 3
Oh my God.
power play goals. It was just so nice to see that we were clicking.
Yep.
And it was him that scored all 3 goals, and it was just great to see. That to me was what made the night. 3 power play goals.
Oh, for those that paid the price of admission to watch that, man, lucky them. I envy them. The thing that not makes me laugh, but like if you listen to his post game interview with reporters, he said, "Yeah, take away my 3 goals. I played a mediocre, average game." He goes, he said, "I've played a million other games where I haven't scored, but I played better than tonight." So he goes, "Take away my 3 goals. I had an okay night." And you know what? It kind of shows that like he's a bit at a more humble place.
I was just gonna say that I just like that humble character that he is.
It's that maturity too. Maybe that was part of his process that he had to go through when he went to the players assistance program. And again, maybe it is because he's only 26 years old. That's what like freaks me out the most. Like he's only 26. Like that's still young. That's 10 years younger than us. That's how old we are. So like for those of you who are good at math, but there's a maturity level that is good for the younger guys to see, I believe.
Well, look, you look at this as a player who's second overall, right? And usually a second overall player or first overall player stays in one team for majority of his career.
A good part, yeah.
This guy, second overall, already his third team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
would think that he's just bad character. We always have these assumptions when a player like that, you would think he's a hothead. He's switching teams because he never clicks on anybody. He just doesn't fit any system or whatever. But seeing him now and the way he talks and the perception he shows to the media, I like him, and I think he found his place, and I really hope.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he found his place. We'll see what happens in 2 years. Well, after next season when he has to renew the contract if he wants to stay here.
Yeah.
But I really think he found his place. I mean, look, he starts his career in Winnipeg, gets transferred to Columbus,
Yeah.
and
The famous Laine for Dubois. And remember how many times we discussed the possibility of Pierre-Luc Dubois coming to Montreal, and like we've had an episode or two about it, that like we had good discussions about it too. And it's funny how like it's the opposite now. Like we ended up with Patrik Laine in return. So yeah, it's you know what, there's some stories that came out with him and his reputation with the Winnipeg Jets, how he didn't want to hang out with his teammates on the road. He stayed in his hotel room, wanted to play Fortnite, and apparently he requested a brand new TV in his hotel room so that it was compatible with the video game system and playing Fortnite and all that. So listen, whether it's true or not, it's in the past. I couldn't have said it better than the way you did. At like he fits right in. He feels like it feels like he's at home. it's kind of the same way. And I'm not comparing the two players, but remember how like Tyler Toffoli, when he came to the Montreal Canadiens and said I was meant to be a Montreal Canadiens, I
Hmm.
feel like I'm at home. And I understand Patrik Laine, it's only 7 games, but it's clicking. There's something in the air about this player at a second overall pick, like you said, at that elite talent that we haven't had since God knows how long, maybe even before our lifetime. So fans are excited, and as much as I say the goals are exciting, it's like, yeah, I still don't think he's in pure game shape in a sense. I still think he
But
has.
imagine
I know that, but that's
if you think he's not at his level yet after this injury, and he's already scoring 7 goals at this
it's
caliber. Imagine when he hits his
when
point.
he's ready to go. Yeah, and listen, you know what? A part of me could be like, I wish he was scoring on 5-on-5 instead of just a power play. But it's like, man, you just said it too. It's like we haven't had a power play weapon in God knows how long. Like maybe since Kovalev,
Maybe.
maybe since Camilleri, PK Subban. You know what I mean? Like we haven't had that. So like we finally have that power play weapon outside of Cole Caulfield.
And without the power play weapon, and look, it's exciting to see this now with him here, but we were just having a great power play year so far, even before Laine played. So
Yeah,
imagine just this season, just so exciting to see our power play unit. Now with Laine in the lineup and scoring all these goals, and our percentages going higher and higher with our power play, is just so exciting to see. And this is exactly what we've been saying. I know I said this the last episode. I'm sorry to the fans if I'm repeating myself, but I mean, we were excited for the season to start to witness what we're witnessing right now.
mm-hmm.
I just wanted to stay consistent and start winning more games, but this is exactly what we waited for.
The Canadians are at they're in 14th place in terms of power play percentage at 22%. Behind, like, if we stayed within the 22 number, like there's the Canadians at 14th with 22%, Pittsburgh Penguins 13th spot 22.3, Chicago Blackhawks at 22.6, and the Edmonton Oilers at 22.8. And 10th place is Colorado, and then all like pretty much the top teams in the NHL. Mind you, Detroit Red Wings, who the Canadiens are going to be they're going to have a home and home series. They're in 8th place with 24.7. So a bit of a challenging coming up ahead for the Canadiens. But yeah, this you said something, Ant, and this begs the question: had he not gotten injured at the beginning of the season, where the heck would this team be in the standings right now? I personally don't think they'd be bottom 5 right now. I'm not saying they would be in a playoff spot. I don't think they'd be. I'm not so sure they'd be in a wild card spot, but I don't think they'd be 7 points out. I think they'd be maybe for like I truly believe the Canadiens would have another 5 wins under their belt. That's another 10 points, maybe. I get that feeling. I don't know.
I think so
Yeah.
too. Again, not to be a Debbie Downer here, and I'll probably be taking this from the Joey book right now, but it was the Buffalo Sabres.
Mm.
Would we have performed the way we performed yesterday with the Rangers? You know what I mean? So
Listen. I do know what you mean, but I'm gonna say this. I get it, and I get that we're all like, oh, it's against the Buffalo Sabres. Like, if the Canadians aren't last in their division, it's the Buffalo Sabres. I get it, but even despite it being against the Buffalo Sabres, they didn't win 2-1. They didn't win 3-2. It wasn't a close game. Like the Canadians had full control of this game. There wasn't a single moment where I felt that the Sabres were a threat coming up against us. Take away that Dylan Cousins goal, I had no worries at all about the Canadians losing this game. And I'm going to say this. knowing our fan base and knowing this market, like, can you have imagined what the media and what the fan base and what the narrative would have been had they lost against a
It was
struggling Buffalo Sabres that they haven't won in 10 games. Now they lose against they lose against the Canadiens. It's 11 games in a row. But can you imagine, like, so there's times I feel like with a small number of members of this fan base and media, it's like, oh, it's the Buffalo. It's like they're damned if they win against one of the
and they
crappiest
win
teams,
and
and
damn if they lose.
they're damned if they lose. So to me, and I said this before puck drop. This is the game where quite a few players can use a confidence booster. And I named three guys. I named Patrik Laine, despite him still living up to the expectations and scoring goals on the power play. I still think this is something he could have had. And hey, you like one goal on the power play, two is good enough. A hat trick is the cherry on top. The second name I said was Kirby Doc, who I thought had a pretty good game. Wasn't on the point sheet, but I thought he showed up. Like, he wasn't perfect, but I thought he showed up compared to, the game against Winnipeg and compared to the game against, oh my God, the dreadful game against the Penguins. And the third person I named was Juraj Slafkovsky, who showed up that game. I really thought him having a goal and an assist, I thought it was perfect. Okay, maybe not perfect, but I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, man, a multi-point game, a kid like Juraj Slafkovsky could have used it, and I was so happy that he got it.
I'm still. I know we're going off topic here, and we're going back to this topic, but I'm so surprised and shocked to see Slavkovsky play the way he's playing. Like, he had a first year struggle, and we're all like panicking. Of course, all Habs fans. What the hell did we do? Why did we choose him instead of Wright and all that crap? And then year two, second half of the season, this guy became a monster.
Yeah.
And then we all jumped on the wagon. It's like, yeah, we chose Wright. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to how he played year one. Like, what is the up and down with this guy? Like, what is. I'm trying to understand because it's not like the team got worse. The team got better. Why are you not getting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah,
I think. Want to ask you this question. Do you think you understand what the problem is?
Well, I mean, I want to say, Marty's been experimenting with him, keeping with Suzuki and Caulfield, taking him out of that top line. And look, ever since he put him back on that top line, I found his confidence has come back, but he still was getting top power play opportunities. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's a confidence thing, or I don't know if maybe he's going to be that type of player where he has a slow start but then picks it up in the month of December.
That, or maybe players like Laine in our team and Caulfield, who is outshining everybody, we're just forgetting about him because now I'm looking at his stats.
He's not bad.
He has 17 points.
It's still in what I had it here too in
28 games.
Yeah, it's dude. It's
not bad.
It's okay. It's
because we're just used to him having a 50-point season last year. But then again, he's not that far from 50 points.
It's because we just want to see the consistency, and I think
I guess so too, yeah.
I think it's okay. Like, even us as fans, it's like, man, we want to see him where he left off, and it just didn't happen. So, you know what I mean? And throw in the fact that maybe even Kirby Doc is having a bit of a struggle. So, and they were playing together. So is it like a
that dual
it's a dual package that it's like, well, you can't criticize one without the other. I don't know. I'm not saying it's that, but you know what I mean? All that to say is I really think this game against the Sabres, despite it being the Buffalo Sabres, those players needed something to boost their confidence. Suzuki got 2 points. Caulfield got 2 points. Lane Hudson got 2 points. You saw another play by Jake Evans and Yoel Armia within like 20 seconds of the start of the game. Josh Anderson is slowly scoring goals too. But all that to say is that, like, against a team like the Sabres, like when your best players show up, oh my God, you're gonna win most of the time, and that's exactly what happened. The best players of the Montreal Canadiens came to play
Sure.
that night, and look, I don't care how he scored, when he scored. Patrik Laine a hat trick, and in like just his sixth, his seventh game with the Canadiens, he came as advertised. Pierre Maguire said it best, just as advertised. Power play
I
specialist,
wonder how many
wicked
goals he would
shot.
have if he started 28 games.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be at 15 right now. Like
15
we
in
have
28 games, I think.
We have Caulfield at 17 right now in 31 games. Oh my God, yeah. Honestly, yeah, I'm saying 15 minimum. I'm going with minimum.
Minimum. I think I would see him now at the 20, 22, 23 goals at this point.
Fuck it. Maybe again, like he's the one player that the what if
What if?
is bothering me. But you know what I mean? Like, anyways, look, he put on the show. Uh, it was awesome. That made Habs fans happy. There's a different vibe with him on this team. There's a different vibe when the young kids see a second overall pick, an elite talented player like himself with that kind of shot. Like
Yeah.
that's what this franchise, that's what this city needed for such a freaking long time. But
Well,
anyways,
looking at stats quickly about it, the Habs' history of hat tricks, the last one before this one was April of 2024, which was Slav.
yeah. Did you see what he said? That was a great, but again, see, like that's the that's personality that you want in that locker room. That's what this team has. He's like, yeah, I think mine was still louder, but it's hilarious. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's a second time he references. It's like, it's like, yeah, it was loud when he scored his first goal, but my hat trick's louder. Now he gets a hat trick. It's like, yeah, no, my hat trick is still louder.
It goes to show the type of room we have. Like I keep
You
saying
guys are
that
close.
little things.
Yeah,
I've always said that's the little things that make a big difference in the locker room. And if Slav could make that joke on the media, like
yeah,
for a top elite player, then there's a good dynamic in that dressing room.
totally agree. That opens a door to our next topic. Um, on the Wednesday evening at like 9 o'clock. First of all, Wednesday evening all of a sudden became NHL trade deadline before the deadline even happened. The Rangers traded Capo Caco. St. Louis traded one of the Joseph brothers back to Pittsburgh. But then, like, it's so funny because I see the Capo Caco trade and I was like, oh man, like I wonder if the Canadiens were in the mix or if the Canadiens even tried to acquire him or at least looked into what they can do, give away to acquire him. So I saw Kako traded to Seattle. I was like, okay, forget it. I knew it was never going to happen, but it was 9:15, 9 something p.m. Eastern time. Canadiens trade Justin Barron to the Nashville Predators in exchange for Alexandre Carrier, who is a right-handed defenseman, 28 years old, 5'11", from Quebec City, fourth round pick by the Nashville Predators in 2015, and he was 115th overall. This season, 28 games played, only 1 goal and 6 assists for 7 points, and his plus minus stats are at minus 14. Now, take that with a grain of salt, just because the Nashville Predators are having like a fucking disastrous season. So take it for what it is. And if we look at Justin Barron's stats, well, I mean, look, he was drafted by the Avalanche, obviously, and we traded for him, that Arturi Lehkonen trade. He only played 2 games with Colorado, so he has 111 career NHL games, so -2, that's 109, if my math serves me well. In 109 games with the Canadiens, Justin Barron, 13 goals, 18 assists, for a total of 31 points. And then he's had at least over 50. He's had at least how many? 32 games with the Laval Rocket last year, 25. So that's 57 games. Yeah, I'm trying to see if he played anywhere else. Yeah, 57 games with the Laval Rocket, 11 points one season, 16 points the other. So that's 27. So I'm not surprised. Something told me that the reason why the Canadiens signed him to a 2-year deal at like 1.25 million, whatever it was, that he's still a young player, but it's a tradable contract. And just the way that he had the preseason and the way you saw Logan Mailloux type of preseason he had and the start he was having in the minors with Laval, I've always said this, that Logan Mailloux is a threat to Justin Barron's chair on this team. I've always said it, and I still believe it to this day. But I'm going to point something out. This trade, getting Alexandre Carrier at the age of 28 years old, the start of a 3-year contract at like 3 point, I think just 3.5 million, something like that. Just a little bit. He's getting paid a little bit more than David Savard. This trade, this is my personal opinion, and I want viewers and listeners to share their thoughts about this in comments. I also think this trade kind of paved the way for David Savard to be bye-bye. Whether it's going to be, is it going to be at the trade deadline, or is it going to be, look, at the end of the season, thank you very much for your service. Thanks for teaching our kids. We're kind of going in this other direction. And I will never disregard the importance of David Savard in this team. We've always said the importance of veteran leadership. He's a bit of that older brother figure. He's guided Caden Gooley when he came in. I'm pretty sure this season he's guiding a bit Arbor Jacka, and that's why Arbor Jacka has been playing well. I'm sure he's been a bit of a guiding figure to Lane Hudson. You could throw in Justin Barron in there probably, and even Jaden Struble. But he's getting older.
Well, we said it at the beginning of this season, right? Before the season started, when we had our season preview episode, that this was probably the last year to give that veteran presence to our players.
Mm-hmm.
Because it started last year with the young players. We moved on to this year, so we have some young players that are already now growing with this team 2 years in.
Yep.
You really don't need Savard year 3. It would be still nice, but we're trying to build this young team, right? We're trying to get rid of all our veterans and get our new youngsters to become the veterans of the team.
Yeah, as the team grows, exactly. Yeah.
Now, this play, I'm just being stupid here, but this could be also a political move, right? Because if Savard's going to be leaving, we need that French.
We need another Quebecer. We need a Quebecer in the lineup. Well, look. So I don't know if you saw Jeff Gorton's interview, but he said they actually had their eye on him for a bit. But funny enough, apparently Barry Trotz, the Nashville Predators general manager, had his eye on Justin Barron, and apparently they wanted Justin Barron last year. They just, I'm not exactly 100% sure what the reason was that they didn't follow through with a trade offer last year. I don't know if it was cap space or number of contracts or what have you. But all that to say is that I listen, Steven Stamkos said a lot of good things about Alex Carrier. Jeremy Lauzon, who loves the guy, obviously they're paisanos. So no, honestly, I'm hearing nothing but good things, and it's a bit tough to kind of. It's tough to watch a bit of Nashville games. You know, they're in the West. They play at a later time. But what the Canadiens get here is, look, they're getting a veteran, but still at the age of 28, who's still in prime shape, theoretically, at the age of 28. Yeah, he's not a big guy. He's not over 6 feet tall, but he is someone that could play, 18 to 20 minutes a game, could play on the penalty kill. He's got an excellent first pass out of the zone. You know what this trade tells me? I really, truly believe this trade tells me that management hasn't thrown in the towel yet for this team in terms of like, fuck it, we're not going to make the playoffs this year. Might as well call it a season again. Let's, quote unquote, try to tank. I really think them going get a veteran is to help this team win, and to help this team win now in a sense. And I'm not saying Carrier is going to be a difference maker, and he's going to help this team, and this team's going to win because of him. I'm not going out and say that, but I just truly believe if they didn't want somebody in return, they would have traded for picks or somebody that they could have thrown in the minors to help Laval win. No, they brought a guy that could play top 4 minutes, and that could be like a rock. Like he could be a bit of like a younger, smaller David Savard. And obviously on the right side, they desperately needed someone on the right side because fuck, when five out of your six your defensemen are left-handed shots, and you need two of them to play on the right side, it's tough, man. It's fucking tough.
I don't know if he's injury prone because I'm looking at his career stats and he's never played a full season. 2021-2022 season was the most he's ever played, 77 games.
Yeah.
30 points. That's actually very good. 27 assists, 3 goals. Then after that, it drops. 43 games, 9 points. That's the 2022-2023 season. But then the 2023-2024 season, he played 73 games and was on top, 20 points as well. Not crazy, but still something to help, the team, especially if you're a veteran presence. I don't know. I think you're coming on to something, Sam. I don't think this team is ready to throw in the towel yet. We still have the second half of the season.
Yeah.
We're not far from wildcard spot. Last time we spoke, we were 10 points away.
Yeah.
We're now 5 points away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if we win the back-to-back this weekend against Detroit Red Wings, we're right on top.
Jeez, that if they win, that's a big 4 points against the Red Wings. Who them
right
two?
Before the
They're
Christmas holidays, come back in January. St. Louis Blues was last place, dead last January.
yeah.
Came back.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember that.
Close to the St. Louis Blues stats, and I'm not saying we're winning the cup, but I'm just saying I don't see this team ready to give up yet.
No, I don't think this team's going to give up. I don't think Marty's definitely not going to give up. Again though, it's so I and I'm only talking for myself here. I struggle with them. I want to see them win, but like the more they win, the further they get away from. I really like who is projected to go in the top 5 in the draft this year, and I really think one of those players can help this team. So part of me, again, I'm dealing with the same struggles like last year. Like I want to see them win and try to make playoffs, but I don't want to see them get away more and more from a very good potential draft pick. So I'm willing to accept one more season. I'm willing to accept this season.
Think management and fans are willing to accept that because we had said last year was the last year to tank. Especially when you have a player like Laine in the lineup and you have a team we're not that bad. Maybe the stats show that we're just horrible, but overall, we're not a bad team.
No, I don't think so.
Again, I get what you're saying. The selfish side of us, you want to tank again for that player, but I think management is away from that. They'll look really bad after that whole Crave series of, we want to be in a mix. And then you're going to go tank. Like I said, we're going to end the season either A, making the playoffs, or B, we're finishing right under wildcard spot. This team is not.
Maybe.
I'm telling you right now, we're not finishing bottom 5. The management does not want that for many reasons.
I also said at the very beginning, I don't be surprised if we finish between bottom 10 and like if we finish between the bottom 10 to the 14th spot. So we're a bit aligned to like where we think they might finish, but again, it's like I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for the entire fan base here, but oh my god, like there's a couple of guys that like I want them to see, but then sometimes I got to remind myself, it's like like you're right. I think management is very confident with I think they're confident with Patrik Laine right now. The only guy struggling within our top 6 is Kirby Dach. I like Alex Newhook. I like his effort. Like he's another Arturi Lehkonen type of player that, always shows up, gives us 110% all the freaking time. Although, fuck, Artturi Lehkonen had an offensive upside that like we only saw one season. Trade him to Colorado, let him play with Nathan McKinnon. There's a guy scoring 20 goals and the Stanley Cup winning goal. But anyways, I digress. But I don't think Alex Newhook is the top six that we were kind of thinking and hoping he could be. Ivan Demidov is going to come next year. Here's what I think the hope is, and I know we're jumping the gun here in December, but like especially now that listen, Kent Hughes and Kent Hughes, Nick Bobrov, and Vinny LeCavalier, they all went to Russia to see Ivan Demidov. They spoke with the fucking coach, and it like who would have thought? Put Demidov on the second line with Kuznetsov. What's gonna happen? Oh, he ends up scoring a goal, a beautiful play, out of all plays. So. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about Demidov at all. Like when he comes here next year, he's going to be there. You pray and hope to God that Patrik Laine is healthy at the start of the season. And then third, if you have a rejuvenated Kirby Dach, if you have a Kirby Dach that could play to that potential, then yes, our top six can be very dangerous. So I'm just expecting for me, it's next year. It's like, yes, you better be in. To me, being in the mix is like, no, you're either getting a playoffs, a wild card spot, or you're in the top three in your division, which I know is tough and it's a lot to ask, but no, like they need to be there next year. Go ahead with your question.
Seeing what we have and what we're building, come March, right before deadline.
Okay.
If we're at that place, like now, we're close to wild card, or we're at that fighting for that last spot or playoff spot, do you see Hughes and LeCavalier and Gorton making big moves that could jeopardize our future just for this season?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to make that move. They've always said we're not going to jeopardize short-term accomplishments or plans. We're not going to jeopardize our long-term plans for short-term gain or potential success. That's not his words, but overall it's like, no, he won't. Let's say the Canadiens are 4 to 6 points out of a wild card spot. With this roster we have now, I don't think they're making any changes. What I think the struggle is going to be is having to accept offers that might be good ones for maybe Jake Evans. I think they could get good offers for Jake Evans. I think they could get decent offers for Yoel Armia. His contract might push things. I don't think they're going to get any offers for Christian Dvorak. And I'm talking about players that have 1 year left on their contract. It's their final year. So Jake Evans, I really think he's the player that could generate the most offers. That might be tough to refuse. It might be offers that can't use. I don't want to sound like Vito Corleone, but I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. I think that could happen. I think they could get some offers, maybe a decent offer for Yoel Armia. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a third-round pick with a pretty decent minor league player. I don't think they're going to get a Christian Dvorak offer. Maybe a David Savard offer. That's a big maybe because I've really
giving Savard to a team that wants to win. That's good.
I think so. But don't forget, Hughes you could only have 3 buyout contracts in your team, and Hughes already has 2. So he has Joel Edmondson and he has Jake Allen that he bought out. So there's only room for 1 more contract to buy out. And I get that Yoel Armia and David Savard, they're just above $3 million in the cap hit. But if teams are tight at the cap around that time, and if Hughes wants to do them a favor and retain salary, so teams only have 1.5 or 1.7 million to worry about, well, you can only do 1 contract out of those 2. But Jake Evans, who's at 1 something million, and he's playing like the best hockey of his life, an excellent penalty killer. He could still score goals and make plays. Yeah, he could still especially make plays, which is what he's been doing lately. Like if Kent Hughes gets a first round pick offered for Jake Evans, who was projected to be our fourth line centerman, oh my God, that's tough to refuse, man.
I wouldn't. I mean, look, between me and you, do you see Evans in our future?
I do. Okay. Not that I see him. I know I want him to be part of our future.
Put that aside, because before I want Evans. Like Evans to me is,
dude, I don't know, man.
2021 Stanley Cup run, like to me,
Yeah.
Lehkonen, Evans, those are our guys.
Yeah.
So we have a soft spot for players like that.
Yeah, we do. 1,000%.
But looking at this team now, right? So Evans 1 year left, contract year. He's playing fantastic hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You're a general manager. You're looking at your team in front of you, all these young guys, all the future guys coming up soon. Do you have space for Evans going forward? Can we, like you said, if Evans has an offer for a first rounder, would you say no to it? Like, you know what I mean? Is Evans your
you know what? I wouldn't. I would say if somebody were to be like, hey, I'm giving you my first round pick. Depends which team. But I mean, it's obviously a playoff team, so no matter what, it's going to be draft pick 15 or 16 and downwards, whatever. It's still a first round pick, but a first round pick offer for Jake Evans, it doesn't come around often. So I think you do have to say yes, number one. But that's if it happens, number one. But your question is, do I see Jake Evans being part of this future? I would personally say yes, and if I don't trade him, I would try to get him back for less than he's going to ask for $3 million plus. If you could get him for $3 million less, yeah, bring him back. To me, because he's going to be that age of 27, 28 years old. Like he's still not old, but like he's old enough to be considered a veteran. And to me, he could mentor a kid like Owen Beck at the centerman position. Maybe even an Oliver Kapanen at the center position. Probably even a Michael Hage when Michael Hage comes, but that's going to be in 2 years. So it's tough to predict. But for me, it's like, yeah, I would love to have Jake Evans stay. I would think I would see Jake Evans staying to mentor Owen Beck, because I really think Owen Beck is going to make the team next year. Whether he's the fourth line centerman or the third line, I truly believe that. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But yeah, no, it's a very, very good question, and that's something the management's going to have to judge. And like again, were they going to have to really decide though? Like, yes, Jake Evans is a big decision at the end of the season. In 2 seasons from now, they're going to have to decide what to do with Kirby Dach and what to do with Michael Hage. 2 centermen right there that have top 6 potential. That to me, and I said this before, I'll say this again, I personally believe they drafted Michael Hage to be the backup plan of Kirby Dach. Does that mean that Kirby Dach is gone? No. What it could mean is Kirby Dach going to play the wing and Michael Hage going to play center? Patrik Laine's contract comes to an end too. Is he going to come back? Because don't forget, you have Slavkovsky long-term, and then you're going to have Demidov that's there on his entry-level contract. So you're going to have to decide which other 2 players are going to be part of your top 6 after that. So
a lot of big decisions coming up.
There's lots of big decisions. And so this is why...
a lot of also good potential coming up too. You know, you just mentioned Beck, Hage, Demidov.
We've got a lot of good...
But a lot of good prospects.
We do have a lot of good prospects, and this is why... I could sort of feel comfortable thinking that, listen, if the Canadiens don't pick in the top 5, we'll still be okay. But if you could add one more to that, if you could add, like, to me, I obviously I love Porter Martone and Higgins and Schaefer on defense, who's insane. But if we could land Michael Misa, I've been having my eye on this kid since he was like 16 years old, and I know that sounds weird, but in his hockey playing days, so like that's who I want. And I know there's other prospects out there that are just as good as him, but yeah, it's an internal struggle that I have as a Habs fan for this season. I know next season with Demidov there, with a hopeful, healthy Patrik Laine. It's like, no, I want the Canadiens to come out strong right away at the start of the season. So uh, there's still lots of work to be done though with this team, and like this is why they're still in a rebuild. They may have all the pieces there, but they haven't all made the Canadiens roster yet. Once they do, then I could start considering the rebuild, quote unquote, over. It's when I see Mayu there. It's when I see Reinbacher there. It's when I see Owen Beck there. It's when I see Demidov there, Hage there. And you bring in a veteran or two. Do you keep Laine as a veteran? Do you bring in a veteran? Oh, you know what? You just made me think of something real quick before we call it quits. If Jake Evans doesn't come back, the Canadiens are going to get a veteran centerman. For sure. They have to. They need a veteran centerman, whether it's through free agency or through trade. Like if it's not Jake Evans, it's going to be somebody else.
Who's free agent next year?
Oh fuck, I got to find that list, but the best thing, like think of this. Remember how Nate Thompson was a bit of a mentor to Nick Suzuki? That's the type of, I'm not saying that, like a veteran like him, but like not close to retirement veteran, but who could still play, who still might have 2-3 seasons left in him. I don't know, something along those lines. So yeah. So no, while you're checking to see who's becoming a free agent, yeah, all that to say, we'll come back to just the end quote about Alexandre Carrier is like, I really, really like this trade. I really think Justin Barron needed a fresh start. He needed a fresh new start. It just wasn't working out with him anymore in Montreal. He's a good player. When Justin Barron is confident, plays with confidence, he could be a very good player. It just wasn't working out with him in Montreal. And I'm going to name another name, Anthony, that you said is going to have a good career outside of Montreal. Caden Primo. I don't think he's going to get traded because I don't think they should bring up one of the goalies in Laval to be a backup. But I'm going with gut feeling here. Caden Primo, he's gone at the end of the season.
I'm telling you, put him in another team, and he's the goalie that we all wanted. I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right list quickly, but you want a veteran centerman next year?
Name him. Go for it.
I think it's the wrong list. Stamkos was free agent last year, right?
Yeah, last year was. Yeah, he got signed by Nashville. So
for how long?
He got quite a few years actually.
This is last.
So it is the wrong list. Which website are you on?
Just Googled it.
Yeah, no.
What an idiot.
Oh, that happens.
I put 2024.
Yeah, no, you got it as of 2025.
Yeah. I didn't know 2025 is in the fucking week. 2025 free agents.
That's so true.
Primo is number 1. Looking at this is all the goalies.
Yeah. Should probably look at the centerman position.
Tavares, Marner.
Oh, yeah. Tavares would never come to the Canadiens. Not after.
There's your veteran centerman.
Yeah, I know, but like, no.
Mitch Marner would be a great piece to fucking end this rebuild.
Jamie Benn, Mikko Rantanen is gonna fucking.
Yeah, Rantanen, Backstrom.
He's gonna empty the. Backstrom's not playing. Brent Burns. Let's go with. I know which website you're on. Christian Dvorak, no. Michael Granlund, no. Fuck, Sam Bennett. I would love to have, but. Oh, dude, I don't know if he's gonna ask for more money, more than what he's getting now. I would. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going with this. Target Sam Bennett. Let's go with Sam Bennett. Why not?
There's not many centermen available.
No, there really isn't. Well, like the top names are like Tavares. No, let's go with Sam. Fuck it, screw it. I'm gonna go with Sam Bennett. If the Canadiens target Sam Bennett, oh my god. Oh my god.
Lars Eller will be available.
Oh my god. Hey, he's a Stanley Cup champion now. You know what?
I like him. I never hated Eller.
No, I never hated him either. Oh no, I never disliked him. I liked Lars Eller. You know what? Fuck it, let's bring back Lars Eller.
Here's your veteran presence.
Hey, he won. He won. He won with the Capitals. One of the goals. He scored one of the goals in the final to win it. Lars Eller. Oh my God. Okay, listen. In the comments, say who would you want more, Sam Bennett or Lars Eller? Who should the Canadiens target more, Lars Eller or Sam Bennett? Okay. I love that. I think that's also a cue or sign for us to stop the show because we're getting fucking tired.
Asking
Cool,
if you can
buddy.
bring back fucking Lars Eller in a rebuild, we're fucking tired.
Hey, listen, they're both Stanley Cup champions, but Sam Bennett's a beast. He's a beast in the playoffs. Oh my God.
Those are your veterans, eh?
The Q. My God, I can't even. This is how tired I am. Keyword playoffs. So, I guess we'll call it an episode. Listen to our viewers and listeners on YouTube. Well, we thank you so much for tuning into this brand new one. Please click like and subscribe. It is absolutely free, and share it with your friends and Habs fans all around the world. Do not buy Anthony's mic because it just might break on you. It's a freak accident. It was a freak accident. These are very good mics. To our listeners on Apple Podcast, Spotify, thank you so much for tuning in. Please follow us along those podcast platforms as well. We are very active on Twitter, also known as X, Instagram. We're on TikTok as well. You could follow us there as well. Anthony, thank you so much. Enjoy the back-to-back games, the home and away series between the Detroit Red Wings. Looks like it's going to be
big 4 points right there.
A big 4 points. Friday night against the Red Wings in Detroit, and then Saturday night against the Red Wings at the Bell Center. We know that Sam Montembeault is confirmed to be the starting goalie Friday night. It's going to be interesting to see if it's him or if it's Caden Primo on Saturday night at the Bell Center. And have a good night. We'll definitely talk soon throughout our group chat. We're going to see you all later. And until then,
bye now.
Bye now.
Good night.